Hey everybody, it's Lewis Porter Jr. It's Tuesday, March 30th, yeah. So, let me tell you what's going on this week for the company. If all turns out well, we plan to be releasing our newest Adventure Path Iconics, Path of the Wicked. This one is specifically done for the guys at Fire Mountain with Gary McBride's amazingly well done and well received Way of the Wicked Adventure Path. We put together 8 starting iconics that you can use in your game. 4 of them are human, the other 4 are races from Neo Exodus, and we've, it's just like the last one. If you like the last one we did, you'll most likely like this one. We used actually his setup with with them all being criminals, which I think is a great idea. I think how Gary handled that was really, really excellent. I liked it so much I even asked them a while back about incorporating the system into a prison source book we're doing for New Exodus. I really liked how he built the crimes kind of like traits. I thought that was just an ingenious idea, and that's kind of also why I wanted to do iconics for it. I thought it just fit really, really nice. So there we have it. Other fun stuff that's going on. Well, we are still working on Obsidian Apocalypse. We're trying to get that still out. I know that the second world is still in development. 2 more. We've had some writer issues, so we might have to go back to the drawing board with them, but I'm still thinking that we can still hit our release date as promised. I talked to the dice manufacturer, which is Chessex. Chessex will be doing our dice for us. It looks like we're going to be doing, I think it was 70 sets of dice. So everybody who pre-ordered, there might be just a few, and I mean literally just a few, that we might have available at the shows at PaizoCon or some of our local shows and things like that. And to tell you the truth, after looking at the cost analysis, that's probably something we're going to start doing on most of our Kickstarters, is offering dice. I was really surprised how economically inexpensive they are, relatively speaking, to do on a project. I mean, the first time I remember seeing it was Eden Studios. George, I'm mispronouncing his last name. George, who does Eden Studios, it's a very, very, very severe long name. And if I pronounce it, I'm going to molest it, so I'm not going to waste my time doing that, because that's just bad for both of us. So he initially got me thinking, oh, dice would be a great idea. Because he tried it on some viz, and I thought, oh, that's a good idea, and I like how they look, and dice. I mean, let's be honest, dice are important if you're playing role games, especially ones that use dice. So we've got that whole lovely thing going on there. I expect to have, so I've got to send a design out for the custom die. I expect to have that by this weekend, sent to them, everything shored up, and probably go in production soon after that. Well, let me talk about something that I was brought up a couple days ago that I've been talking about, is a transparent Kickstarter. And some people have been like, well, it's a great idea. Some people are, well, I don't know why you'd want to do something like that. I mean, people would give you all this attitude. My theory is real simple. Kickstarter is still in its infancy, and I believe that it's still being right in its infancy, right at the beginning. There's a lot of ideas that are being tossed out by tons of people, some people charging you for this stuff, and I'm really a big believer in this kind of information should be free. It doesn't take much to get on the phone and call someone and say, hey, I got a question about such and such, can you help me out? But I think it's even better when you can just actually show people in live colors it is, but live time what's going on, how we're doing it, and why I pick these choices. So that's kind of what we're planning to do for our Empire of Tears Kickstarter, which will be sometime in January 2014. So like I said, we've got a long distance between here and then. And last night I was going through my mental Rolodex of names that I wanted to work on the project. And of course, whenever I think about freelance projects people I'm gonna call outside, first name always goes to Owen Casey Stevens. Owen, I've known for a long time. Owen's a good writer. He's very, very solid. I know Owen's, he's a full-time freelancer, so he's always looking for work. Owen is not afraid to hustle, as I would say. So he's always on my list of writers. I was also looking at, crazy enough saying, trying to get some more bigger names, well-known names on this project. You can guess what I'm talking about, but I won't say it because I don't want to spoil it for myself. Now someone's screaming, but Lewis, that's not transparent. I'm like, oh, great. Now I got to see what happens. You want to be transparent. You got to tell everybody stuff. You can't hide anything. Well, okay. I would love to have, if I'm going to go through a big wish list, I would love to have Monty Cook work on it, of course. I mean, let's just be honest. Monty Cook working on a project is basically guaranteed success. That's pretty easy. I'd like Wolfgang to work on it. I think Wolfgang's an excellent writer. I think there's some stuff that he can bring to this adventure that you usually don't see much in gaming itself, specifically the angle we're taking with this. Christina Stiles. I would love to hire Christina Stiles for this because I've only heard great things about her. We've never actually worked together, which I think is kind of funny. It's one of those things of, in this industry, you'll run into a lot of people just outside of the stuff they directly work on, and it's just like, I saw so-and-so's work. You should check out so-and-so, and you read their stuff, and you like their stuff. You just never find a project where you can match up, and I think this has been an issue with myself and her, but I think that she would be really good for that. I think if she was interested in doing adventures. I don't know how interested she is in doing adventures, but of course, we'll be sending out emails to her, and she'll be one of the names on that list. I mean, if I was going to go for a purely, anything goes list, maybe Jason Bowman. Maybe. I mean, I know he's working full-time at Paizo, and he has his own publishing arm, and, if he wants to work freelance on top of that, I would assume that he has no more time left in his life for anything, but, he's a name I would want to put on it. I mean, let's be honest. With Kickstarter, it kind of is a combination of quality work and having some names that people can associate with the product. That's a win-win. I mean, you want to have people who know you do good work, and have the fan base. I mean, Fred Hicks, if I don't talk about Fred Hicks enough, maybe I think some people think I dislike Fred Hicks. No, I don't dislike Fred Hicks. I am 100% jealous of Fred Hicks. I think Fred Hicks understands how to work with his customers and his fan base better than anyone I've seen. I think Fred Hicks also knows how to work well with retailers and that aspect, and he's great for that. And I mean, I think I'm developing it. I think I'm working at it. I think it's hard work, but I think some people do it so well and make it look so effortless. It does make me jealous. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little jealous. Nothing to be jealous. Nothing wrong about that. I mean, he's great at what he does. And he deserves all the accolades he gets because he's that good. So, I mean, I'm always appreciative of talking to him. He's been very, very kind to me. Anytime I ask him a question, he's always giving me information. And I think that's kind of what made me want to do the whole transparent aspect to this. I think that being transparent can only help people make better products and, in turn, make better Kickstarters. And I think that's definitely what the main goal is. So, like I said, this is going to be a Empire of Tears is what we're calling it. My theory is that it's going to be a 4-part I'd say called Adventure Path, a 4-part Adventure Path. I'm looking for it to probably, the realistic cost it's going to cost me is probably about $8,000 to develop the entire thing with artists, writers, editors, photographers, doing all that. I'm guesstimating $8,000, and with it being $8,000 being my guess, I assume that my Kickstarter will be at least $4,000. Because I'm a big believer, as some people are, you shouldn't ask for all the money you need for your Kickstarter. You really shouldn't, because it forces you to put, as my dad would say, put some skin in the game. When I'm asking for half the money, I still have to come up with the other half, and I still have to develop it, I still have to work hard for it, and I still have to get it out. And a lot of people just think they get the money, they sit on the money, and then they burn through the money, and they don't produce a product. And I'm very much against that. Also, on top of that, I am going to be developing this project starting basically now. So by the time we actually start the Kickstarter, at least at a minimum, all the writing should be done, and all the artwork should be in process. Because I think, realistically, if you do it before the Kickstarter happens, it's not even a Kickstarter. It then becomes a kick-ender. And that's a term I've been noticing people use a lot. It's we're trying to finish this product. We've got some pretty cool ideas. That's why we're doing the Kickstarter. Oh, and by the way, here's some other cool stuff I want to add on top. Because for myself, I think for the adventure we're doing, I would love to get other third-party publishers involved and doing like a 16-page add-on to this adventure path. So our big main bad guy in the thing, I don't want to ruin it for you, so I'm not going to tell you specifically. Yeah, sorry, no transparency on that. At least for right now. But we can connect those bad guys with other people's world's main bad guys. And I think there's a way we can do a lot of crossover products. So it's, for example, wow, what an idiot. Speeding in a children's zone, really? Wow. So stuff like that would be, if you could have X type of monster appear in, let's just say Wolfgang Barr's Midgard. as like a 16-page add-on to this. And then someone else's setting, and someone else's setting. And so you could have, I mean, I'd love for Dreamscard Press to have one, which I have an idea for them, which I haven't told them yet. I have an idea that I think that would fit in as a great monster that fit with their rule set and their upcoming setting that I think would be great as an add-on to this. I mean, my whole concept for this is to build an adventure path that has tons of little add-ons to get people interested in playing this whole little adventure path. But you can play it in whatever setting that you might be used to playing it in. And I think that makes it not just interesting and not just fun, but adds a really cool aspect to it. I mean, when you play an adventure path normally, depending on who makes it, you play in that specific setting, in that specific world, with those specific rules. I would love for it that you could play the actual adventure path in that, but there's also, here's an encounter, or I guess I call it a sidetrack encounter, or a couple of encounters that are directly in the world that you're used to playing in, and here's how that connects to the bigger overall story. So it gives you that deeper connection to what you're looking to do. I just think that's a good idea. I think it's good. It's good for third-party publishers to work together. I've always believed that. And I was thinking, I'd like to see more of that. I like, everybody knows that we in Dreamscard have done tons of projects. They have done tons of stuff for us. Basically, our whole psionic stuff is done because of them. We wouldn't have it without them. And I know a lot more people are like falling into that whole, I wouldn't say niche, but the whole line like we have. Certain people are doing certain things very well. Let's, instead of trying to do our own thing, try to, why would I want to do psionics from the ground up when it's a perfectly well done system right here? That most of it's open content, and you can get those guys to work for you on it. That's a plus to me. So there you go. All right, this tape's almost over. I'm going to close this one down, and I'll probably see if I can do another one for you guys, maybe later on this week after we release our product, hopefully. We'll go from there. All right, thank you so much for your interest, and I'll talk to y'all later.